Hey Eve, I wanted to check in about those materials that I asked you to have ready by tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure that you were actually going to be finished making them in time. I see they haven't been submitted and it's already so late.
Hello, Mr. Brown. Thank you for reaching out to me outside of work hours. I'm a little confused as to what you mean by those materials for tomorrow. I thought that you knew your daughter Hillary was in charge of them.
But I told her to go and ask her supervisors for help making them if it was going to be too difficult for her to do it on her own. Do you know that she's new to the company? Are you seriously going to pretend like it's okay to leave this work undone just because it was specifically assigned to you?
I'm sorry if there's been some kind of miscommunication, Mr. Brown, but I've been checking in with Hillary every step of the way she's been doing this. And every time I've asked her if she's making progress or needs help, she always told me that things are going well. It was only today, right as I was supposed to be clocking out, that she came up to my desk and told me that she actually wasn't going to have it done on time at all. And that's when she asked me to take care of it for her. That's why I'm still at the office this late at night.
So there you go. You admit that you were slacking off doing your duties as her supervisor and failed to assess actual progress being made. Honestly, I don't know why this company ever gives these kinds of roles to women. They always let their petty interpersonal drama get in the way of everything. And then you have the gall to try and put this all on an employee that you were supposed to be keeping an eye on?
Sir, are you really trying to pin all of this on me when I'm the one working hard to make sure this all gets finished before tomorrow?
It's obvious that you were being a bad supervisor and making Hillary feel uncomfortable coming to you with this matter. It's no wonder she waited until the last minute to ask for your help in finishing it up. You really need to think about the environment you're making for our employees.
Even if that was true, the fact of the matter is that Hillary didn't ask for my help in finishing it. She gave me what she had done and told me to do the rest for her. She told me she had plans that she couldn't miss and then left the office.
And now you're trying to pin this all on my daughter just because she had plans for tonight? Who knows how long she's had this on her agenda? Hillary is still young. Do you understand that? You shouldn't be wasting her youth with busy work. Besides, it's like you said, it was time to quit for the day, and there's no reason why my Hillary should ever have to work overtime. If you're not going to do your job in making sure she gets her work done during work hours, then of course it's all going to fall back on you.
Are you serious, Mr. Brown? I told you that I checked in with Hillary over and over again.
Well, clearly you were doing something wrong, or else none of this would have happened at all. Now quit trying to blame my daughter for your screw-ups. If my daughter asks you to finish her work for her, you just nod and say yes, ma'am. I hope you're ready to spend all night at the office.
So you really aren't going to talk to your daughter about making sure this doesn't happen again? Do I understand that right?
She has a right as an employee to refuse to work past regular hours. And as her superior in the office, you need to quit abusing your power and recognize that right of hers. If she says no to more work at the end of the day, then obviously any work that was left undone under your watch would fall to you.
I really don't think that's the company policy. And anyways, it wasn't that she couldn't do the work, it's that she wasn't doing any work. Even though I was repeatedly reminding her to do so, not only that, but this isn't the only problem like this I've had with her.
You really do have some nerve trying to pass off all of your failures onto your underlings. You're the more experienced employee, so this is on you to fix.
Okay, then I understand, but that being said, I do have one more thing to ask of you, sir. When we've gone out for company dinners, Hillary was paying for her share with the company's end of your party fund. Not only that, but she's been caught taking money from that fund to go out and eat by herself as well. This is a textbook case of embezzlement, and it really is a serious issue. So could you at least talk to her about that? Sir, are you really asking me to just overlook her stealing from the company?
You really are such a cheapskate, do you know that? Do you really think that we're not going to be able to have any kind of fun events around here if one person is taking money out of the fund to treat themselves to lunch now and then? We're going to be just fine. And you really need to stop trying to get Hillary in trouble for every little thing she does.
Sir, are you really asking me to just overlook her stealing from the company? Have you ever done something like this in your time here?
Why do you keep using those words? Stealing? Embezzling? It's nothing like that at all. Well, it's just certainly not those things.
I see. So then should I tell the rest of the staff to start paying for their own lunches with company money? Because it sounds to me like you're saying that's an acceptable thing to do.
You know that isn't okay. If that many people were taking from the fund, then higher-ups would surely notice. That's why my daughter and I are the only ones who can do that. Got it?
I really don't think that's true at all, and you really haven't made a convincing case for yourself.
Well, if you don't like it, then you can just quit your job. What do you think about that? Because if you're not going to listen to what your boss has to say, then we don't need you here. Don't you ever forget your place in this company.
I see. Well, okay, I suppose I understand the situation better now, at least. I'll finish the rest of Hillary's work before the end of the night. See you tomorrow, Mr. Brown. Hey there, Eve. I was looking over the work that you left on my desk last night, and this looks perfect. Thank you so much. Even my dad was saying what an amazing job you did with all of this. I know that I should have left all this work for you. But man, I really didn't think that a company would let me get away with doing something like that. You only got away with doing it because your dad got you your job in this department. But if you ever go and find another job, I really wouldn't recommend acting the way that you have been. For example, the day after I turned in your work for you, I also saw that you left a receipt for what appears to be a night of drinking and expensive food at a bar. What exactly do you want me to do with this? What do you mean, what do I want you to do with it? I used the company card to pay for it, so I want you to take it off our records. Well, this wasn't a work expense, so I guess what I'll do is create an invoice for you to pay back what you spent on the card. Oh, Eve, you really are just so funny. Do you know that? But now, this receipt is related to work. You see, I've had to drink more to keep up with the stress of this job, so therefore the company should be paying for my outings. I see. Well, as compelling as that is, that goes against company policy, so I'm afraid I can't make that happen. Oh, really? But I was talking to my dad, and he told me to just leave the receipt on your desk for you to take care of. So are you really going to pretend like you know more about how this company works than my dad? You do know that he's your boss, right? You really need to learn your place in this company, Eve. I appreciate your reminding me of that, but the thing is that your father doesn't have the right to make that call either. In fact, neither of you should be using company money for personal outings. Listen to me. You should know that I have a date with the CEO of this company, okay? So if things go well, then I am going to become the wife of the next CEO. That means that I'll be higher up than you could ever hope to be. I see. So you're basing this all off one date that you haven't had yet? Sometimes I wonder why I even bother with you at all. It's all part of my dad's plan to help us climb up this corporate ladder, and I am his secret weapon. I see. Well, that's just quite creepy, but it also doesn't have anything to do with me or this. So you can have whatever love life you want, but while you're at work, you are expected to do your job and follow the company rules. Yeah, some unmarried old hag like you would try and go on a power trip with me, but don't be jealous just because I'm getting married and you're still single. You keep going on about separating the personal from the business, and yet here you are bullying me all day just because I have a love life and you don't. That is not what is going on here in the slightest. I am talking to you every day about the fact that you never do any work. You go out drinking on the company dime and you leave all your duties for me to take care of. Is that how you think you should be behaving at your age? You really just know how to push my buttons, don't you? I had no idea you were such a cruel, horrible woman. I'm sorry if you think I'm being mean, but someone needs to put their foot down and let you know that you can't act like this. You need to take responsibility for your job. I'll have you know that I am working my tail off. I work so hard every single day. All I want is a little break to recompose myself now and then, but you would rather I just work myself to death for this place. If you really can't handle the work being asked of you here, then maybe you should quit. Because everyone else here was hired for their qualifications and experience. You only got this job because your dad insisted that we hire you over much more qualified candidates. And since the day you started working here, I haven't seen you do your job once. And here I thought you were so much nicer, but I see that people only have value to you around here if they work and do whatever you say. Do you really think that's any way to treat people? Hillary, literally, what are you talking about? This is a company where we have work that needs to get done in order to meet certain deadlines. If someone isn't doing their work, then they don't belong here. You're the one who doesn't belong here. Ugh, you've got me so stressed out. I really need a drink. Just leave me alone. Wait, what? Are you really just ending this conversation here? You better not be using company money on yourself.
Hey, when are you finally going to learn to quit pushing my limits, huh? Did you know that your bullying finally made my poor daughter break down into tears? I thought I told you to learn your place in this company.
My place in this company? My place in this company is as Hillary's supervisor, so if she doesn't do her work, I have a duty to speak to her about that. I really don't see how you can accuse me of doing anything wrong.
Well, you're taking this way too far. I'm going to see to it that you're fired for what you've done to my daughter. You should have listened to me when I warned you the first time, but now you're really going to pay for it.
And just what did I do that constitutes a fireable offense, huh? Because I haven't heard of any company ever choosing to defend an employee guilty of not working. I can't see how anyone would see my actions as incorrect.
Except for the fact that you're forgetting that I'm our boss. Now submit your letter of resignation to me, and let's just get this over with.
Okay then, I'll quit. But I won't be giving you my letter. I'll be handing it to my father.
Your father? What do you mean? Don't tell me that you meant to type the company president, but you had a slip and typed out father instead? That's worse than calling a teacher mom in school. I mean, even up to the very end, you just keep making mistakes.
That wasn't a mistake, although it wouldn't matter whether I called him dad, father, or the company president, since they're all the same person.
Wait a second. What? Are you saying that your dad is the company president?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Mr. Brown, and he isn't one to take nepotism lightly. It's clear to anyone who hears the facts about what's been going on who is in the right and who is in the wrong. So I hope you're ready for what's in store for you next.
Wait, are you serious? I mean, I thought it was funny that you two share the same last name, but I thought it was just coincidence. I mean, both your last names were Smith. I thought that was just a really common last name.
That's why I didn't even bother trying to hide my name. I figured that everyone would think the same way that you did. And so that's why I never told anyone who my real father was.
But I don't understand. Why would they hide something as important as that from me, your boss?
Because I really didn't think it was all that important, and because I don't like using my family to get what I want. I knew that if people knew who I was related to, that I would never be treated equally.
But I should have known who you were. I mean, had I known that you were the daughter of the CEO, then I would never treated you like this.
I see. So you're saying that the way you treat employees is all connected with how much influence they might have over your career? Because I'm afraid that I've already left my desk and was going to deliver my letter of resignation to the top floor.
No, wait, stop. You can't do that, please. I can't be responsible for firing the daughter of the CEO. Please, let's just forget all about this, okay? You don't have to talk to your dad at all. Let's just all get back to work and pretend that none of this ever happened.
I'm afraid that it's far too late to try and do any of that. Besides, what would getting back to work even mean in an office where you and your daughter treat this place like your personal playground?
What are you talking about? But I promise you that the two of us are going to really start doing our jobs from here on out. I'm so sorry if you were concerned at all about our performance, but I promised to have a talk to my daughter about these very serious issues.
Wow, you really about-faced so hard. I'm not sure whether I should be laughing or cringing at that. Who was the one who was just telling me that they would defend Hillary's slacking off?
You're right. That was wrong of me, and I realize that now. I've been too soft to my daughter, and I promised to have a very stern conversation with her. Just please don't go and talk to your father about any of this yet.
No, I really can't understand, and I am going to be talking to my dad. I have seriously had it with the two of you. You have broken so many rules and violated so many policies to just serve yourself and Hillary. Did you really think that I was just going to let you get away with all of this like it was nothing?
I hope you can understand. Please, I really had no idea whose daughter you were. If I did, then I would have never acted in the way that I did towards you. It's just that, well, these companies have strict structures, and sometimes I need to enforce them on underlings like I was doing with you.
I wonder if you even realize the doublespeak that you engage in all of the time. Do you realize how many contradictions you're full of? Maybe if you actually showed any level of self-awareness, then I wouldn't feel the need to go through with this.
Please, I'm begging you not to talk to your dad about this. It would cost me my job.
Well, thankfully for you, my dad doesn't come back from a business trip until tomorrow. But he may have some words to exchange with you when he is back. Anyways, that's all I have to say on the matter. What could you possibly have to say to me now? Are you really going to pretend like you're sorry for what you did just because you got caught? Besides, after what you pulled, the police are going to get involved too.
But please, surely we can just forget about all this, right? I just lost my temper is all.
I don't care what excuse you have yourself. Letting you stay in this office any longer is putting all employees at risk. I mean, you were really trying to hurt me, I could tell. But I guess you thought that just because I'm a woman means that I would be weak, huh?
I just didn't expect you to be so strong.
Well, I've been doing judo ever since I was little. I throw men twice your size and triple your strengths on the mat like it's nothing. But the fact that you tried to ambush me in the parking lot, cover my mouth with your hand, you're nothing but a coward.
Please, I didn't think that he would be able to fight back. Just give me one more chance. I'll even work for free. Just please, don't go to the police about this.
It's far too late for any of that. I've already told my dad everything. You should have seen how angry he got, but don't worry, you're still allowed on company property for one more day. After all, my dad still wants to talk to you. So anyways, go to the top floor and have your conversation with him. And by the time you're finished cleaning out your desk, the police should be on the ground floor ready to pick you up. After I told my dad everything, including what Mr. Brown tried to do to me in the parking lot, he was furious. It was actually his own staff that had to hold him back from leaping at Mr. Brown and attacking him when he entered his office. After he caught his breath, my dad explained to Mr. Brown that he and his daughter were being let go and were also being sued by the company for embezzlement. Mr. Brown was also facing a lawsuit from me as well for his attempted assault. In the end, he owed so much in legal fees that he had to go deep into debt to pay it all back. My dad also made sure that he would never work in this town again through his connections and networks. I requested a restraining order against Mr. Brown and his daughter in case they ever tried to get revenge on me. After his firing, however, I was promoted to Mr. Brown's position as department chief. Since then, both productivity and employee satisfaction have been at their highest point in years.